Hello there. Before you rudely interrupt me, here's a quote. Life is to be lived, not controlled, and humanity is won by continuing to play in the face of certain defeat. End quote. That was by Ralph Ellison from his book Invisible Man. Recently, that book got banned. Damn shame. Books are actually sexy, really, they are. Have you ever sniffed the musky ink smell from the book, the pages? It's like the immaculate fragrance of life. Have you ever gently caressed the edges of a book as if it was the golden hips of a woman? Too bad I can't really do that to my Kindle. But it's the inside that counts, right, Mrs. Kendall? It's the inside that counts. In his essay, A Defense of Poetry, Percy Bysshe Shelley, Bysshe, I'm sorry, that was a Kendrick Lamar reference. But Percy Bysshe Shelley, the poet, once said that, quote, poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world, end quote. Well, in defense of all literature, the readers and writers are also the unacknowledged legislators of the world. I'm sure you stumbled on a very thought-provoking article that you shared with your close friend or colleagues that changed their perspective on something. We have the internet. What's the point of banning books? Everything is already available. I grew up my entire life as an athlete. I never saw books as a means to escape reality. I've always seen books as a means to further explore reality. I recall myself as a young Haitian boy in the middle of a soccer field reading Slam Dunk by Yusef Kaminyaka, an African-American Vietnam veteran, showcasing the ability to maneuver words together. And I related that to our ability to maneuver our bodies in the basketball court and in the soccer field. There was this correlation that I found as a young boy, and it really inspired me to read and write. I went on to explore other genres of literature. Nothing really captivated me more than poetry, but nonetheless, I was still very captivated and fascinated by different genres of literature, whether it's flash fiction, short stories, novels, different genres in terms of science fiction, fantasy, detective novels. It didn't matter. It was this fascinating take on the human ability to create stories. There is nothing more universal than the urge to belong to a bigger world. And there is nothing more totalitarian than a parent refusing a child to experience it. The lessons that books illustrate are lessons children of all ages need. It's no different from a student learning their lesson from touching a hot stove. I love it when bold writers are determined to take life at a different angles. And I hate it when society, a democratic society, can't determine whether it's a fascist state or not. Parents, the more you withhold something from your child, the more the urge to know about it deepens, all right? The moment you close the door and leave your child unattended, they're either cursing like crazy, they're exploring themselves sexually, and they're idling by pretending to study. You need to find balance in parenting, all right? Teach them the bad, but give them a reason as to why it's bad. Relate it to the bigger picture rather than just saying, hey, it's bad because I said so. Whoa, all right. You're about to get challenged now. Just like those books are often challenged, don't be surprised if your child begins to challenge you. We have to preserve intellectual freedom by coming up with ways to expand information so that it's readily available to everyone. According to the American Library Association's Office of Intellectual Freedom, 1,300 books have been challenged since 1982. Stubborn parents and administrators, how about you start challenging your students instead of challenging books? I just want to thank motivating parents, brilliant writers, courageous publishers, risk-taking booksellers, the wonderful world of the library and the librarians that occupy it. Thank you so much for your efforts to preserve and your undying efforts to keep humanity alive by showcasing the good and bad of the human condition. in book form and in digital form. Thank you. Humans aren't judged by what's hidden. They are judged by what's exposed. Why not make everything available? Of course, there are boundaries. There's a lot of things you don't want to expose to your children. But high school, you shouldn't ban books in high school. These students are getting ready to go to college and to real life shortly afterwards. Now, in terms of elementary and middle school, of course, you want to be careful. You want to prepare those children for those books to be read at a later age. So instead of telling your child, no, you can't read it, tell them you aren't ready to read it now. You have to develop a certain amount of maturity first. All right. When you get this certain age, then you can read it. See it as an investment. All right. Make it a literary investment to your child. Let them, have the urge to read it once they get older. That way, it can build some anticipation rather than just being like, I can't read anything. My mom's just a loser. She's such a loser. Okay, sorry. I'm done with my rant. Subscribe and share this video with the hashtag BooksAreSexy. All right, and don't forget to rub your nipples before you hit the send button. All right.